okay. We made it down to test and tune a couple different weeks in a row. Those were 2 different weeks. I was gonna go a 3rd week, but I have some issues. Still have the miss. This thing at about 5,500 RPM. It's got a new coil and new plugs. And so at this point it's fuel. My old coil was about 13 years old. Kind of wanted to have a spare for these long trips we make on occasion, just because if my coil goes bad, you can't pick this one up at a Napa somewhere. Got a better tack in there, much more accurate with a shift light, because when I'm going down the track, I'm just trying to keep it between the ditches and not really watching to see my RPM where I should shift, try around 6,000. The second run was a little better. She hooked on that one. That was actually my second run that night. But as you notice, when I went to shift to 3rd, she wouldn't go in twice. And then I ground a little bit. So I don't know if the synchros are bad, we're going bad. Everything looked just as good as the satellites when I had that one apart. But anyway, I got to get this thing up on some jack stands and take a look. Now, the first week I was spinning. And went to solve that problem. I got a set of slicks on the back of this thing now. And that time it hooked. Now, what I really probably ought to launch at's about 4,500 RPM so she won't bog. But there's a lot of things I should do before I start doing something like that. One is put a drive shaft loop on the front, so in case the U-joint breaks, that it won't pole vault down the car down the track. And put some solid U-joints in. I have greasable ones now. So this was for funsies. I'd hope to go back a 3rd week. I think we're done. Now, a couple guys from the Mopar trip, they went along. They showed up. One of them was Mop. Remember him with his dart? He nicknamed it Shart. Remember I bought this guy for him? Well, he had that in his car after the second or 3rd stop, and he never had another problem. We never stopped again. I tried to convince him to put that in his 72 Monte Carlo with a 454 that he brought down there. Just kind of a rust bucket, but I love it. It's a cool car. Well, anyway, he wouldn't do it. So what does he do? He goes out to the track and proceeds to do a burnout in the burnout box. He dumps his entire radiator full of antifreeze right in the burnout box. So there's about 100 guys behind him, including me. So that was the end of the night. I figured it's time to go home. And going home, yeah, this thing wasn't shifting like it should. Now, P.S. Mop, he did get a new radiator for that car, but it's a big one, and it's going to take some electric fans. So that's why he had his Monte Carlo along.